That is how we get down. What is good, everybody? Welcome into a Monday edition of Coach and Company live here on the Stadium Network and everywhere the stadium is. Amazon Prime Video, YouTube TV, Roku TV. Oh, yes. And also DirecTV. We are in over 100 million homes every single day, and that math does math. Now, coming off an incredible weekend. An incredible weekend in sports, in wrestling, and you know here at BTT Studios, we cover all of that. So let's start with a little bit of housekeeping because this is our busiest day of the week, and I'm telling you right now, there is so much to talk about with the return of Brock Lesnar last night, capping off SummerSlam 2025. So today, obviously, we have Coach and Company every single day right here on Stadium. Then we have a very special podcast, 11:15 a.m. Eastern Time, on everything. What does the Brock Lesnar return mean? Then at 2 p.m. Eastern Time this afternoon, every single day, it's Off the Roast, brand new radio show on Sirius XM. Just completed our first month. The numbers were out of this world because of you. We're just part of the daily lineup at Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7. And then you don't want to miss this. 5 p.m. Eastern Time today, the one and only Vince Russo from Coach and Bro. Have not heard his take on it yet. We will have that recording on our YouTube page and also on social media. And our show moves this week, tentatively, on Wednesday mornings right here on the Stadium Network. It's a Coach and Bro show at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So it's 2 full hours of BTT studio content. Then, of course, late night, it's your craziest late night show. Me, Big Tommy, Gabby, sometimes Raphael stops by too. It's the last word, approximately 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Can we give you any more than that? We're sure going to try, but this is here. This is now. We got to have a banger of a first day. We got a ton of new eyeballs. Oh, look at that. They're getting a little bit impatient, but I like it. So, ladies and gentlemen, my company's ready to come in. It's time to beat the books. All right, and we're going to get back to it. We're going to get back to the old ways of doing things when it comes to celebrating those that rise us up every single day. So, I'm going to start with the man who, for 5 straight weeks, has come out on top of his Footy Friday 5-pack. I mean, it's not just one play. 5 straight weeks, we've cashed money-wise. Big Chuck, good morning to you. Congratulations on another winning week. You get our 15 seconds. Good morning.
Morning, Coachman Company. I appreciate the kind words. Yep, Footy Friday was fortunate to have a winning weekend. We're going to put that one in the old deposit box and look forward to the new weekend. A lot of great stuff on the horizon. Ready to get it going.
And the leagues are getting ready to pop off as well. Less than 2 weeks away from the English Premier League. It never stops for us. And my man Chuck is a cash register. Now, this next man, I hung out with him in the armpit of the universe. And I can say that now because I'm out of Atlantic City. Your hotel's terrible. That's what I'm saying right now. Your Wi-Fi sucks. But it was great to hang out with my man. We had an incredible weekend. PFL in Atlantic City. 2 weeks we're in Charlotte. Mikey P, good morning.
Not only that, we got PFL Africa coming again this week. So busy day here for the brand, busy week and month for the company of the PFL. I'm happy to be here. Happy to be getting the week started like this.
We should start sending you to Africa for all those PFL Africa events.
I'll go everywhere. Europe, MENA, Africa. Just send me everywhere.
All right, I'll let him know. I happen to know somebody that works at the company. I'll see what I can do. All right, next, this man last night. I mean, who needs Big Tommy? Who needs Gabby? We had our highest live audience we've ever had for our post-SummerSlam show, and it was just me and my numbers guy for a reason. Say good morning to Raphael Esparza. Good morning, Raphael.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, family. What a night. I'm still blown away that Brock in his new long curly hairdo walked down the ramp and beat up John Cena. So we're going to see him beating up John Cena for the next 4 weeks.
We literally said, did we not? Did I not ask you live on the show? I almost wanted to pull it. And I said, is there a name? Is there somebody that we're not thinking about, that we've missed, that could be the same impact as The Rock walk? Remember we talked about that live on the air?
And I was hoping it wasn't Travis Scott. I was just hoping and wishing it
Oh.
was not him. So thank you, WWE, for not bringing him in.
Oh my God. By the way, they put out a video of Cardi B talking to Logan Paul and Randy Orton. The only problem is Randy Orton was fighting Logan Paul. Stop giving it away. Stop giving it away. And finally, this man was in the chat last night. He is everywhere. He's also the host of Weekday Wagers right here on our Coaching Company YouTube page. Say good morning to our man live from Memphis, Tennessee, Mr. Daniel Greer. DG, what's good?
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, guys. I want to give a special shout out to one of our guys, a part of Coaching Company, John Supowitz. Soupy had a birthday this past Saturday, and so I want to give him a little belated happy birthday to our guy, Soupy.
Happy birthday to Soupy. Happy. Now, his world kind of got blown up just a little bit because his hookup potentially will no longer be a hookup because the Connecticut Sun have been bought. They've been sold for a record $325 million. What am I missing? But they will no longer play at Mohegan Sun, where he has the hookup, and they will be moved to Boston from all reports that are in. So, Soupy, find a new hookup. Pronto. All right, gentlemen, we got to get to our best bets. Coming up in 15 minutes, also a very special weekend rewind. Coming up in 30 minutes, we start our division previews with the AFC East today, and then in 45 minutes, a record, well, sort of, in the NFL. We'll talk about that. But, gentlemen, who would like the smoke this morning? Who would like to... Sorry, Raffy, too slow, big boy. DG, best bets, go.
Yeah, let's start with Eric Fetty here. Over the 2.5 earned runs, it's at plus 115. This number moved here recently this morning, but over his last 6 starts, he has a 12.09 ERA. Yeah, that's terrible. And he has 3+ earned runs in all 6 of those. The Brewers, yes, they've scored 8+ runs in 5 of their last 6 games. I expect them to beat up on our guy, Eric Fetty, over 2.5 earned runs at plus 115. And then my hottest hitter right now is Frederick Charles Freeman. Freddie Freeman over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. It's at minus 125. He's had 2+ hit, runs, and RBIs in 6 straight in 9 of the last 11 games. This dude's on fire, but also Sonny Gray. Since the All-Star break, the last 3 games, he's given up 30 hits over those last 3 starts. I expect him to get blown up, and I expect Freddie to be one of the guys who reaps the rewards, 2+ hit, runs, and RBIs.
This is officially cash stacking month here at Coaching Company. Take all these dubs, take all these check marks, and get ready for September 4th or college football before. And those are 2 check marks right there. I feel it. DG, solid start. Solid start. All right, let me go right below DG. Mikey P, I'm looking at my notes, and I see not 1, but 2 big plays on the diamond. You're up.
Absolutely. Sticking on the diamond because soon Monday nights will be filled with football. So let's start with the Houston Astros. Are the Miami Marlins good or are the Yankees just bad? Both. The Marlins are bad. The Yankees are bad. The Astros are a much better team. And I feel like over the past month, I've used this guy's name a lot. Sandy Alcantara. He's back on the mound for Miami, so that should be a win for the opposition. When you have a 6.36 ERA, which is probably 2 times more than my high school GPA, listen, I'm taking the Astros all day. And then going to LA, the home of King Lettuce. And I am taking the Tampa Bay Rays first 5 at a plus 110. Adrian Hauser making his Tampa Bay Rays debut. Adrian Hauser 6-2 on the year. Why is that important? He played for the White Sox. That means he won 6 games for the White Sox and only lost 2. So give me Adrian Hauser to show out in his new debut for the Rays.
How many shout-outs did you get in that one take? We had a shout-out to King Lettuce, a shout-out to your horrible GPA, a shout-out to Yankees fans. A lot of shout-outs there, Mikey P.
I'm just going to make everyone feel loved this morning.
All right. I feel it. I feel it just washing right over me. Just washing right over me. All right. Now, this man, we heard from him at the top of the show. There are a lot of leagues kicking off in the next week or 2, but we never stop the grind. Big Chuck, go.
Leeds Cup, a.k.a. the Gold Mine, Toluca in NYCFC. And with the Pigeons forced to have to score in the Red Devils' explosive offense, I'm expecting fireworks in this one, with Toluca averaging 2 team goals during the tournament and NYCFC averaging 1 team goal per match. Give me the both teams to score and over 2.5. I can see a 2-1, 2-2 type final score.
And if you guys want to really stack your cash. Here's what you got to do. A little side hustle. Download that QR code. Scan it, whatever you need to do. 1 or 2, maybe 3 games. You're playing with house money for the entire year. This man does all of the sports, not just soccer, but he's a big soccer capper here. But be a part of it. Love that side hustle. Love playing with Big Chuck over there. All right, Rafael. You went from almost first all the way down to fourth, but your picks are not fourth best. You're up.
I'm going to add one, Coach. I'm going to take total shout-outs by Mikey P over total jokes from Mark. So I'm going to take that first prop bet, and then I'm going to go baseball.
That was awful. Let's start it over. And we're going to take a shot at Mikey P. Let's try it again. All right, Rafael, you went from first to fourth, and your picks are not fourth best. Go, you're up.
I'm going to add a play, Coach. I'm going to take a prop bet that I just made. I'm going to take total shout-outs by Mikey P versus total jokes over Mark. So that's my prop bet. And then I'm going to go to baseball, and I'm going to take the San Diego Fathers team total over 4.5. I'll lay the $1.25 on this one because the Fathers have been playing really good baseball. They picked up some nice bats and arms. They have hit this prop in 6 out of their last 7 games. In their last 8 games, they've won 7 of them, averaging 5.9 runs per game. So give me the Fathers team total over 4.5. Is that better?
I'm sorry. I just got a little emotional. Anybody else? Seeing Rafael
grow
up.
I seen you get emotional. I saw you get emotional last night with John Cena and this. That's 2 times I've seen it.
I know. Look what you bring out of me. Rafi. All right. Now, you guys know we have an incredible partnership over at JTS. And look who just showed up on the screen this morning. He's like a bad rash. Can't wait to get rid of him, but always seems to come back. Marky Model, what do we got today, big boy?
Let's pick right up where we left off on Friday, Coach, with another winning play of the day. Today, we're going to focus on 2 most consistent bats in baseball right now. We're going to take a 2-hitter parlay, starting with Milwaukee's Brewers' Christian Yelich to get a hit tonight. You can't spell consistent without Christian, especially when he's on the road where he's hit safely in 19 of his last 20 games, not to mention that he's absolutely owned Eric Fetty over his career. We're going to pair that with Pittsburgh's Tommy Pham to also get a hit. Simply put, this guy is locked in. He's recorded a hit in 17 of his last 18 games, and he's been great against the Giants. Put them both together, you get a plus 102. Just a Stat Sports play of the day. And Rafi, go ahead and cash that under.
There is the QR code. Scan it. Use our code BTT30, and we're going to give you 30 days for free. And just like Kimberly said in the chat, if you're watching on YouTube, 31 days until the start of the football season. It is a month from tomorrow, technically, if you're looking at the date, September 4th, Thursday night. So if you want to really feel about what JTS is all about, you got officially, today and tomorrow, and then September 4th, we'll be saying thank you. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Coach and Company. Thank you, JTS. Right, Mark?
Absolutely, Coach.
Thank you, DG. You're welcome.
What the hell do you have to do with JTS, DG?
In all fairness, he submits a lot.
Well,
of
Mark,
winning
I didn't
tickets.
ask you.
I'm sticking up for my guy DG on this one, Coach. He submits a ton of winning tickets. It's not just about the models. It's about all the cappers winning tickets as well.
Oh, DG's on
Is
JTS.
Mark correct, Magic 8 Ball? Absolutely, yes.
Oh, so you're saying if they go to JTS, they can check out the cappers, which DG is one of,
Correct.
and the rest of the site. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, that's what I was trying to
Rafael
get
is
to.
not.
Thank you.
You didn't know they had a site.
Yeah. Rafael, we're partners with them. You can't make that joke. All right, great start. Feels good today. Good vibes still to come on the other side. We're doing a little weekend rewind. A ton of things happened on the weekend. What tickled my guys' fancy? Also, bottom of the hour. Oh, our NFL previews continue. We're talking divisions. AFC East today. Just getting started. Coach and Company live, as always, right here on Stadium. Oh, all you degenerates out there watching on our YouTube channel as we continue on. So many things that have happened. Mikey, I wanted to come over to you because, we talk about star power all the time. And Friday we got to be around in the same vicinity as the greatest MMA fighter of all time, Khabib Nurmagomedov. And I was blown away at how classy he is. The fact that he would do anything that we wanted him to do at the PFL. He even talked about Conor McGregor, which is up on ESPN.com right now. This guy has the most amazing camp, fighters, and probably going to have 2 of the 8 world champions that we're going to crown in the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, when you have a guy like Khabib who maybe doesn't jump off the paper for a casual fan because he doesn't trash talk, he doesn't do any of that. He's just that damn good as a fighter. You take a step back and you look at who they are as a person. And I don't think you could ever have a Khabib conversation and not hear the mention of his father, Abdul Manap, who had father's plan. And to have that passed down between not just Khabib, but every fighter on that team, it speaks to the discipline and respect they have for one another and the sport.
And Mo Vliet was an underdog, Rafael, and he absolutely dominated Jesus Pinedo. And it tells you what you can do when you know exactly who's going to be in front of you and you have 2 or 3 months to get ready for it.
Yeah, he was just doing exactly what the game plan was done. And once the game plan started, he pretty much had that fight won in round 1. So it was a great fight. And I got to tap out my head to Khabib. Ever since his dad passed away, people tell me when they talk to him, it's like they're talking to his dad. So I just the acknowledgement that he has and what he's doing to as I'm now a coach / manager / mentor to these fighters. I got to get my hats off to him because I didn't think he was going to be like his dad.
Wow. DG, he just took all your time. What do you think about that?
I'll let you have it. But I got a question. I thought, honestly, like George St. Pierre was the greatest MMA fighter, or Horace Gracie. No. Like, there's a lot of guys that I thought.
I mean, that are in the conversation.
Okay.
He literally had a perfect record. He never lost. He was a multi-time. I mean, this guy was next level. Then he quit because his mother asked him to when his father passed away from COVID. It's an incredible story. All right, we're back live in 5 seconds. All right, welcome back, everybody. It's Coach and Company. As always, we are live every single weekday right here on the Stadium Network. We love that you start your day off with us. Do not forget, follow us at Behind the Turnbuckle. All of our YouTube pages, we have 2 right here, Coach and Company. We are very, very close to crossing over what we need in order to add our NFL premium content by the time that the NFL season starts. So if you have not subscribed to our Coach and Company YouTube page, I encourage you to do it right now so you can help us get there because we're getting ready to absolutely just roll out so much content, more than what we're doing right now, if that is possible. Now, over the weekend, no matter what kind of a fan that you are, sports fan, wrestling fan, pop culture fan, there was a little bit of everything for everybody. So it's time to look back in a little weekend rewind. All righty, gentlemen, we go 5 wide today. By the way, for those of you in the chat, Charles will be in there. Any questions for him, answer them for you in real time. He'll be back for our NFL segment coming up in about 15 minutes. All right, so let's start on Friday. Incredible scene at the iconic Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City. Some of the greats have fought there over the years. Sugar Ray Leonard, Mike Tyson, the trilogy of Gotti. The Gotti fights, you guys remember those. And now add Thad Gene and Movlid Habalayev to that list of greats that have fought inside that building. So, Mikey P., I'm going to let you start us off. Where are you headed today, sir?
It's not just about the fighters for me. I'm looking back at the entire promotion and the weekend that was for the PFL. If you backtrack to 2024, or 2023 rather, Dakota Ditcheva was becoming a star in PFL Europe. Last year, she becomes a world champion on the global stage for the PFL. If you fast forward to last weekend, Thad Gene, who got started with the PFL's development program, comes through this year as an alternate and wins the world tournament at just 26 years old. This is only to say, while you're focused on another MMA promotion with 3 letters that I don't mention, look at the PFL building their new stars, bringing new names to a sport that desperately needs them, and creating a world of opportunities and a blueprint that is absolutely working. Shout out to Movlid. Shout out to Thad Gene. I think the future has arrived, not just in Thad Gene, but in the PFL.
You can say the UFC. That's okay. We don't ignore that they're there. We just want to be the best that we can be and focus on what we do. And I personally, Mikey, I love the guy, I don't really know his name, that handles all the post-fight press conferences, the one that answers all the questions for the company. He's great, isn't he?
He's fantastic, and also acknowledges me, answers my questions, and that's, sometimes that's hard.
Well, I mean, you sit right at the front table, right in front. It'd be anyway. We'll move on. Good job, Mikey P. Good start. All right, I'm looking at my notes, and I want to have a feel good right now. And in Chicago over the weekend, it was a lot of sadness, but a lot of tributes, which are warranted. Raphael, where are you headed today?
Yeah, I'm going to go to Wrigley Field. And, Coach, the older I get, the more emotional I get. I cry like a little kid every time Tom Hanks loses Wilson in the movie Castaway. Friday and Saturday, I cried almost every 5 minutes, the tributes they were doing to Ryan Sandberg for the Chicago Cubs. It was the same weekend. How ironic. It was Cubs for the Cure that Ryan Sandberg died on. So they were going to do this festivities for Cancer for the Cure before Ryan Sandberg even died. So how ironic. It was the same time they did the tributes. Rick Sutcliffe was there, Jody Davis. All my Chicago Cubs that I grew up in 1984 watching were there doing tributes, and I could not stop crying, even though we lost. So then I cried again after we lost on Saturday. So it was a very emotional weekend.
As Kimberly said in the chat, this segment brought to you by Kleenex. And that is very, very appropriate. It's okay, Raphael. I'm in the same boat. I get very emotional these days over stuff. I don't know why. But it's okay. It's okay. Men cry on Coaching Company. It happens. Now, where do I go next? Let me look at my notes. I know where I go. I go from a very emotional story in Chicago to emotionless in Miami. Marky Model, where are you headed today, sir?
Coach, this one's still full of emotion. I think we should probably check on Tommy C to make sure he's not crying right now, because the Yankees made all this noise at the trade deadline. They acquired Ryan McMahon, Austin Slater, David Bednar, Camilo Duvall, and Jake Bird, stocking up on the bullpen, adding bats like they were gearing up for a run in October. What happens in their very first series after the deadline? They get swept by the Miami Marlins. Game 1, the newly acquired relievers are the ones who cough up the losing runs in the ninth. The offense flat out vanishes after Game 1. They're shut out in Game 2, only 3 runs in Game 3. This wasn't the Braves or the Dodgers. We're talking about Miami, a team selling at the deadline. The Yankees went shopping for answers. They came home with a bag of problems. And if this is the best that the new look Yankees have to offer, it's going to be the same old tired story. Overhyped, underperforming, and just flat out embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. It absolutely is. You know what's more embarrassing? Our head marketing person at the PFL, I won't say their name, we're going to be in Hollywood, Florida in 3 weeks. And they just happen to be home that particular week. So we thought it might be a nice team building thing. It might be a nice thing to get everybody out and go to a Marlins game. So we have probably, Mikey, 10 or 20 people, I would say. And so we contacted the Marlins, who are averaging about 1,100 people in their stadium. Said, hey, would you like to add like 2% of that? We said, we can give you a discount, 5% off. Said, 5% off? You can't just give us 20 tickets? No. We don't give tickets away to anybody. And we said, that's clear. You don't, because nobody freaking shows up. Not even for a Yankee series. Anybody know the attendance for the weekend series? Did anybody look it up? I guess I'm the only one that works around here. So yeah, I'll look it up. It was like 11,000 for the Yankees.
Kimberly would be on that.
What's that?
Kimberly will get that for you.
Kimberly, look up to see what the attendance was for the Yankees and the Marlins for me, please, and put it into the chat to see if I'm even close at 11,000. All right. So it's down to me and DG. And I know there was a lot of hype going on for a baseball game that was supposed to take place, no issues, or was supposed to be no issues in Tennessee. DG, where are you headed to today?
The Speedway Classic between the Braves and the Reds was supposed to be awesome. In all honesty, it was awesome because 91,032 people came and was in attendance for that event. And it was the largest ever in MLB history. But when you look back on it, a lot of people on social media are upset because their hot dogs didn't have buns and the rain came in and washed everything away the first night after 1.1 innings. And so because of that, everybody's talking down on the Speedway Classic. But just think of the drone shots, the amazing ideas that came out of that entire event. It was a great idea. And that's what I like to have, is great ideas pushing a sport or, just kind of a brand forward. And that's what they're trying to do. So I don't care if the guys and the teams, they went 2 for 14 with runners in scoring position. The teams didn't perform, and that is what it is. But in all honesty, the event was creative, and it was something that we'll look back on in a fond memory. We'll forget about our hot dogs not having buns.
Wait a second. Oh, by the way, I was a little bit off on the attendance in Miami. It was 34,000 on Sunday. So a little bit off, but you guys get my point. Thank you, Kimberly. DG, if you would have bought a ticket and showed up Saturday night for an inning and you didn't have buns, no cheese on the nachos, and there was something else that I saw that was egregious, would you be happy then if you had attended and then they didn't get to go back on Sunday, did they? The fans?
Yes, they did. Yeah, so your ticket got you in either Saturday or Sunday. And they even allowed you to bring food in on Sunday as long as it was in a clear bag. And so they tried to make up for it. I think they knew their downfall, but they tried to make up for it.
Okay, very good. Thank you for educating us on that. All right. My weekend rewind, I'm going straight to SummerSlam last night. I spent more hours talking about SummerSlam on my radio show on SiriusXM, on Coach and Bro, on The Last Word, than any other event in the history of time. And last night I'm sitting right in this very seat. And I said to Raphael, is there a name? Is there a name that could come out at the end of this night that would equal what happened with Seth Rollins on Saturday night when he shocked the world? Over 50,000. Last night, over 60,000 showed up. 113 combined. And we threw out some names, and we're like, nope, they just can't get there. And they're not just going to have a face-against-face battle, but that's the way it looked. They all hugged at the beginning. There was a lot of respect. It was one of the best matches John Cena has had in a very, very long time. And then the world shook. Literally, it shook for so many different reasons. I heard Paul Heyman's voice in my head. Brock. I mean, it just went back. And he's the only guy that for the last 4 months of John Cena's career, after thinking about it, that could be at the level that we would be interested. So when he walked down, listen to Michael Cole goes absolutely nuts. All I saw on social media was negative, 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 negative. Sometimes in life, gentlemen and ladies, you got to move on. You have to move on, and that's what we all should choose to do. And I'm not discounting any of the negative stuff, but last night was a moment. And last night will be remembered for a gigantic moment in wrestling history. Brock Lesnar is one of the biggest names of all time. He had been non-existent for years. And he came out last night. He looked like $1 million. He walked down the ramp. You had the fireworks. It was one of the most amazing moments in wrestling I've ever seen. And as you guys know, I have a little bit of history at SummerSlam too. And DG, was my turning heel at 2003 SummerSlam the equivalent of what we saw last night? I think it's right there.
Yeah, some will say that we'll see that in the Hall of Fame one day. Those two moments paired together.
Yeah. Which Hall of Fame, we're not sure. But, yeah, Hall of Fame nevertheless. Rafi, real quick, 15 seconds on that last night.
I'm still blown away. Me and you were just totally shocked when we heard the music, and it was hard for me to fall asleep just because I knew Brock Lesnar's now back.
It was amazing. Kimberly says 22 years and 1 day ago. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you. I still remember that night. Attacking Shane McMahon with a chair 4 times. And I'm telling you, I know the question you're going to ask. Does it feel good to hit somebody with a chair? Yes. Yes, it does. Feels very, very good. All right, still to come on the other side. You guys know what time it is. 24 shows, including this one, until the start of the NFL season. We dive in to divisions. And today, we're looking at the AFC East. It's Coach and Company. Where else would you want to be? Having a great time, as always, right here. It's a Monday, live on Stadium. Come on back.
What is a dimmer box? A dimmer box is a rugged portable speaker. It's a vault to hold all your things, keep them dry and safe, and it's a charger. You're looking at 40 hours of playtime. So we charge this thing maybe once a week when we're traveling and adventuring. There's volume controls on the outside of the box here, so you can turn it up and down. If you have your phone inside there charging, it's nice and safe and dry. All right, so we're gonna hook the Deemer box to our phone. I'm gonna show you some tricks. You just hit the button on the front. You've got the battery gauge here. That lets you know how full your battery is. You got volume here as well. So you just turn it on, go to your Bluetooth, Deemer box DV2, and it says when it's paired. Yep. And so inside the lid, if you're just jamming tunes and you're not around water or anything like that, you can leave this open. But if you're going into a wet or muddy, snowy environment, inside the lid right here is a plug. You undo this plug, it pops out. Put it right in the top right here. Give it a few turns. Turn it on. Now you've got a waterproof speaker box. Now you can play it for the whales. I think there's a use for each individual person. The Deemer box, like this is mine with all my stickers, my things on it. You can kind of make them your own. That's part of the love of them. I have a connection with these because it's like a good belt or like a good pair of boots. You can cater your lifestyle to your Deemer box, but there's no other speaker that charges your things and holds all your stuff, keeps it dry and safe. That's what sets this apart. So I'd recommend y'all trying a Deemer box and bring it because it's so much more than a speaker.
Oh, and you can join Zach Brown. You can join your boy, the coach. I got my Deemer box right here. Go to deemerbox.com. Use our code COACH10 for 10% off anything site-wide. And this thing's incredible. 40 hours. If you're a camper, or even if you're not, it's amazing. We're back live in 5 seconds. All right, welcome back, everybody. It's Coach and Company live here on the Stadium Network and everywhere that Stadium lives. Amazon Prime Video, DirecTV, YouTube TV, LG, the list goes on and on. We are past the bottom of the hour. If you are watching live on Stadium right now, it's 10:32 in the East. It is 7:32 in the West. And we begin today our 24 days to the start of the NFL season. For the next 8 days, we're taking a look at the divisions, and then we'll dive in day by day at 2 teams a day leading up to September 4th and the Eagles and the Cowboys. But before we get to the AFC East, I need to see my boy Raphael. Because, Raphael, we're always looking ahead, especially in the NFL, on anything we can tackle as far as future betting, line movement, anything like that. Do you got anything for me this morning?
Yeah, the Bills opened up to be a huge favorite, minus 260. Now, pretty much every book in the United States and in the world has a minus $3 or higher. But if you're the Bills Mafia, and I highly suggest you do this, go to team total wins in a division. The Bills over-under is 4.5. The juice is minus 130. You can probably get minus 127, I think, at FanDuel. By week 7, they can have 3 division wins already. They play the Jets in week 2. Better play the Jets in week 2 than maybe the last game of the season. If you only have 4 wins, you can hedge on that ticket because you're probably going to get plus 480 or higher on the Jets to win that game in the last season of the year. So I would take a look at the Bills' total division wins, 4.5.
That is so smart. So what you're telling me is if the Bills get to 4 and then they play the Jets, and the Jets are going to be, plus 40, unless for some reason the Bills have it locked up or something and they don't have to play their starters. But if they do, then you get plus 480, or you're going to cash that over 4.5 so you can hedge. That's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing. I didn't even think about that. Well done, Raphael. There's a reason I have you at the top of these segments. Brilliant producing. Thank you very much, sir. Raphael will be in the chat for the rest of this segment. Everything AFC East today. Also, Mark will be in the chat. As you guys know, JTS, they've got their football model up and rolling. They've been testing it out with the CFL. They are ready to go. So I'm telling you, become a member today. But the here and the now, I'm ready for DG, Mikey P, and Big Chuck. We're talking AFC East, and it's time to bet the futures. right, it's one of my favorite transitions. There are the numbers, and the Bills are an overwhelming favorite to win the AFC East this year. So, DG, let me start with you. Minus 300 or more, you're never going to play that straight. But my question is, should the Bills be such a big favorite to win this division?
They absolutely should. And that's the thing. You got to look at this conference and division. Like the division within the AFC East, it's just not good. Like you look at the quarterbacks, two of them, Justin Fields, not great. Drake May, very young, up and coming. He's not great yet either. But Tua can't stay healthy. And so I just look at the quarterback position as a whole. And that's really where it stops for me. I think Buffalo should be favored by even more than that. I think they should be north of minus 400 at this point.
Wow, Chuck, what do you think about that?
It's a big number. I was kind of looking at the Patriots and that old Vrabel magic, 8.5 for their win total. I think they could be sneaky because you have to remember the Bills, they're going to get that first place schedule. So, and teams are going to give them their best shot. So they get down the hole. It could get tricky. Could have injuries as well. You got to always factor that in. I just think that's a huge number, but they're the class of the division for a reason. They're projected to get 12 or more wins.
Yeah, it's one of those things where the first place schedule is something very few people talk about. And a novice fan probably doesn't even know what we're talking about. What DG and Chuck are talking about is the way the NFL does their schedules is to make parity more of a thing, to not have a dominant team year in and year out, which makes what Tom Brady did, what Patrick Mahomes has done, and really what Josh Allen has done, Mikey P, that much more remarkable. If you finish first, then you have to play the other first place teams during your schedule and your division and a division from the NFC. So it's never easy. So I'll ask you, Mikey P, the same question. Are the Bills in your mind, because it wasn't that long ago that the Dolphins were a really good playoff quality team, but they've dropped. Tyreek Hill's a mess. Tua's pissed off at his team. What say you on the AFC East, Mikey?
Yeah, all three of the teams not named the Buffalo Bills don't have an identity. I think there's too much concern with Tua, Drake May, and Mike Vrabel. They could be a good pairing, but maybe not for another 2, 3, 4 years. And then Justin Fields. I mean, you just hired Aaron Glenn to be your head coach in New York, and he's got to work with a quarterback who's not really produced or shown himself to be capable of a franchise guy. So the thing about the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen is we could just stop the conversation right there. This is one of those, I may take some heat for this, but this is a Tom Brady light version of in Josh Allen, right? We don't talk about these skill set players. We don't talk about any of the contributing weapons he has. We only talk about Josh Allen because he is just that good, and he's going to carry this team and dominate the AFC East.
Let's leave those quarterbacks up there for a second, producer man, because DG, I want to come back to you because when we look at that screen, Justin Fields might be back and fully healthy for the beginning of the year. He has that toe injury. And then Tua is making a lot of money, but he's always one hit away from his career being over. And I wish that I was kidding, but I'm not. So when you look at the quarterbacks that are playing right now, which one of these needs to get off to the fastest start to really make their team believe that this could be something more than a throwaway year?
I really do think it's Drake May. And I love Tua. I think that he has all the pieces that's surrounding him to be really great. It's this health. But if I look at Drake May, he's now got Stephon Diggs, who's his number one receiver. And so because of that, they're going to rely on their run game so much with Stevenson. I still think that if Drake May comes out and plays well, just in the first 5 games to start them off on a good foot, I really think this could be what sets them up for a successful season. I don't think they're going to be dominant. I don't think they'll be great. I think they'll just be successful.
The one thing we have to remember that Tom Brady was not Tom Brady when he first started. The Patriots were not the Patriots when he first started. There's got to be a start. And normally it leads into, Chuck, oh man, they really surprised us this year because we get so locked in on the names. Do you feel like Drake May or Justin Fields, because I'm a big Justin Fields guy, can be the quarterback to change the fortunes of those two teams and potentially cause some issues?
I definitely think it's Drake May. I'm riding with this New England team like Drake May. Look what Vrabel got out of Tannehill, so he's going to put him in the right positions to succeed. Definitely like him over Justin Fields. I'm liking this New England team. I think I'm looking at the schedule, 9 wins easily. Well, I'm not going to say easily, but I think they could definitely get to 9 wins.
Wow. And I believe their number is 8.5. 2 of them are 8.5. The Dolphins and the Patriots, Mikey, are 8.5. The Bills are 10.5. And the Jets are just 5.5. So when you look at the win totals, that's what the books believe they'll come in at. So clearly, if you're 2 games ahead, according to the books, as far as your total, that makes sense for their particular number. But let's switch over now to the wide receivers and talk about some of the weapons, because when we talk about Keon Coleman for the Bills, he may not even be the guy that makes the difference this year, Mikey P. They brought in Josh Palmer from the Chargers, $36 million deal. He may be the piece that they need since Stephon Diggs exited town a couple of years ago.
I'll do you one better, Coach. I'll say Khalil Shakir. This is a guy, plays out of the slot a lot, and he seems to just be in the right position at the right times. Listen, Keon Coleman, he's a good big body receiver, but he did not show out or show up in his first season in the NFL. So when you look at this division and the wide receivers, you alluded to it. Tyreek Hill is a mess. When you're pissing off your quarterback before training camp even begins, and it's based off something you said last year, that's just a bad relationship through and through. Stephon Diggs does concern me because of coming off the ACL injury. And, he's not getting younger. He is only getting older. So I look at Garrett Wilson to probably be, without question, right now, the best receiver in the division.
And that's what we're not talking about, DG, what Mikey was just alluding to. They signed all these guys. Garrett got his money. Sauce, they got their money. But now they need Justin Fields to live up to that potential. And maybe I'm the sucker. Maybe I'm the guy. But I love watching Justin Fields play football because he runs and he throws. Could he shock us this year in this division?
No, absolutely not. Like, that's just there's nothing that Justin Fields does well enough. And we saw that when he was with Pittsburgh. He's going to keep teams, honest enough because he does have the speed, and they're going to allow him just to do that kind of, do the speed, getting outside the pocket a little bit more and running. But he still doesn't have a good receiving core around him. Garrett Wilson is phenomenal. He's awesome. He's going to put up good stats with a bad team, and they're going to be empty stats. But in the end of the day, I don't think there's any way Justin Fields shows up this year. They're going to be the 4th best team in that division, which makes them worst.
And lastly, you got to talk about the number 1 seed, Chuck, when you're talking about the Buffalo Bills. They have not been able to solve the mystery that is Patrick Mahomes, and they need to have that home field advantage. How many games do you think they'll need to win this year coming out of this division to lock up? Because they could lock up the division by week 11 or 12. They've done that before. But what about the entire season for them?
I'm thinking win this division, probably 11 or 12. Like I said, it's got a projected to win 12 wins. I think 11 or 12 will be good. Now, getting home field advantage throughout the playoffs, that's going to be a different story. They may need 13 or more, but that AFC West is highly competitive, so they're probably going to be knocking them out. So you'll be looking at the AFC North as the other one to fight for the home field advantage through the rest of the playoffs.
Mikey P, does your namesake keep his job in Miami if they don't do something this year?
As entertaining as Mike McDaniel is, he has to show that he's more than a funny soundbite or a highlight reel on the sidelines. He has to win games. I mean, listen, Tua is very important, but it all comes down to coaching. We've seen that across the league. If you want to be taken serious, you got to act like a serious coach for once.
No doubt about it. I say that all the time when I'm talking about myself, Mikey P. Kidding. Joking. Great job, guys. Tomorrow we will continue our look in the AFC. Again, in the next 8 days will be divisions, and then we'll break down team by team, 24 days. Or shows, rather, until the start of the NFL season. And if you guys want to weigh in with what kind of content you want to see here at the brand, do you want to see evening shows? Do you not want to see evening shows? Let us know. We only got so many hands. But let us know what you guys want to see coming up for our busiest time of the year. On the other side, hey, maybe there's some interest in the NFL earlier than we thought. Record-breaking numbers. I'll explain on the other side. This is Coach and Company live, as always, on Stadium.
There you go. Talk to me, Dad.
So it begs the question, was that real? Was that really the baby's first steps? DG, you got two little girls at home. Do you think that was her first steps?
I think so because, moms usually don't lie about that kind of stuff. And it was the honest reaction that she was showing. That was awesome. If it was, that's awesome. If it wasn't, shame. Shame on you.
Raphael, I saw you in your little box going poof, like you're blowing your head off. You don't like that incredible content on YouTube?
I done a lot of research in the WNBA this weekend, Coach. I just didn't want to see another WNBA topic. I think it was AI. I don't think the baby took the first two steps.
WNBA. They continue 2 steps forward, Big Chuck 2 steps back. And apparently the babies can still take 2 steps forward too.
Absolutely. I think they put more practice into the reaction than the baby actually taking the steps.
Mikey, your thoughts?
I'm just surprised that baby walked better than 90% of Atlantic City last weekend. So congratulations to that baby. I'm highly impressed.
Oh my God. There was a monsoon on one of the nights and people were walking on I wish we had video of that because that was hilarious. It literally, well, that's what I was kind of getting to, but thank you for ruining my flow. There was like 3 feet of snow. See, you completely threw me off, Mikey. Completely threw me off. There's not. I'm just going to sit here for 10 seconds. We're back in 5 seconds. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Coach and Company coming up in about 5 minutes. We lock it in with our best bets for this Monday. Now, one thing we didn't talk about over the course of the last several days is the fact that Luka has signed his deal to remain in LA, 3 years, $165 million. DG, you are my guy for the NBA. Are you surprised that he only signed a 3-year deal when he is eligible? He could be the first player to make $400 million on a 5-year deal if it all plays out correctly. Does it make sense for him to do it this way?
Yeah, it does because that second apron is crazy in the NBA with the new CBA that they've done. So because of that, it is smart to go ahead and get your money, but also he'll set himself up at the right peak time to be at the right age to get another contract after this one. And so it's all about setting himself up the right age at the right time. And so I think it's very smart by Luke and his camp.
And this is what I love on social media, which is why I rarely read anything anymore. I use it to push it out, is that there's a lot of fans who just don't understand, or they're fans, they come and they just make a comment and they don't understand why somebody does something. And Raphael, when you are perfectly set up time-wise for a 5-year, $400 million deal, it makes all the sense in the world. He's still going to make $55 million. I think he can survive on that.
Just a little bit, maybe the taxes a little bit in LA, but the second apron is going to be where he makes his coin. So I thought whoever told him to do that was very smart because he's going to make a lot more money down the road.
Big Chuck, were you surprised or was it appropriate? 3 years, 165.
I figured he would do that, even though he's still got to be kicking himself. He should be going into his homegrown contract, I believe, with the Mavericks, where he should have got that big payday. So now he's going to have to wait a little bit longer. But I'm with the taxes part. They're going to take a little bit of a chunk out of that. That's what I always think about when athletes sign in California.
Oh, believe me, I live here. Can't wait to get out. I hate this place. Oh, Governor Newsom, love you. Love you. Mikey P, let me come over to you because throw the taxes out of the window. This is, to Chuck's point, the rules of super maxes are put in place to keep players in their city. The Mavericks took that away from him. He had just bought a $15 million home in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, which in that city is a big, big house. Do you still think he's pissed, or does his new body tell you, I'm going to prove them wrong?
I think it's both, right? He could still be pissed about missing it right now, but now you're talking about a guy who's already tied to the Lakers for the next 3 years. Then he's going to be eligible, like you said, if things go according to plan, for that massive payday. So you're getting a highly motivated Luka for at least the next 3 years, and he's still going to laugh at you guys in Dallas. So I really like this move for Luka, and I'm worried if I'm a Mavericks fan.
It's funny you mentioned the word laughing because DG, he was on the Yankees broadcast last week, and the announcers were laughing and said, hey, maybe they were showing the magazine. Well, he was on the cover of Men's Health, I think it was. And they said, maybe we should send that to Dallas. And Luka goes, I think they know. I was like, damn. Did you hear him say that?
I love a little pettiness, as you know, Coach, and
Yes,
the GM seeing that, you know that he saw that. But what Luka's doing right now, I think we've all been there before. He's got that breakup body now. He's in the gym and he's making sure that he's fit, trying to the new girl on the side, which is the Lakers.
I don't know that I've ever seen a player transform their body in 3 months like Luka has done right now. And I heard some people go, oh, well, he's got trainers. He, has somebody putting the food right in front of him. He still had to do the work. And the work is really, really hard when you're already in NBA shape, so to speak. But clearly he had weight to lose. And clearly, gentlemen, he is now, in my opinion, will be the MVP of the league next year. I think he is going to kick everybody's ass. The big question is, how does he get along with LeBron and LeBron's whole issues that LeBron had over the summer? Because he hasn't been happy. His agents haven't been happy. It's going to be very interesting out here in La La Land. All right. It's best bets time. A lot of you were not here at the top of the show. That's okay. You got a life. You got a job. You can't always take an hour break when Coach is coming on. Or can you? All right. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, to lock it in. All right, 10 seconds or less. 1 or 2 nuggets is all that I need. Mikey P, start us off.
I'm taking the Astros money line against the Miami Marlins. Do not buy into the hype over sweeping the Yankees. The Astros should win this very easily. Then give me the Tampa Bay Rays first 5 against the Los Angeles Angels at a plus 110. Adrian Hauser on the mound. He's actually a good pitcher who came from the White Sox.
Rafael.
We're going to San Diego Fathers, team total over 4.5. The Padres get this game against the Arizona, who lost all their offense during the trade deadline. So I think the Fathers take this road game tonight.
DG.
We're going to go Eric Fetty Wap over the 2.5 earned runs. It's now moved to plus 115. But the last 6 starts, he's had a 12.09 ERA. I expect that to keep happening today. And then Freddie Freeman, over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs at minus 125. He is hot and locked in right now with 2+ and 6 straight. So let's go ahead and ride Freddie.
Big Chuck, what do you got?
And I seem to have made a boo-boo that Rafi was so happy to bring to my attention. This particular match goes tomorrow. Both teams are scoring over 2.5, but going to stay on your toes. I'm not to fear. I have something for you all in the MLB. Mets, Guardians, the over 8s went over in 4 of 5, and the Guardians in 5 straight on Mondays. I'm going to take my exclusive play and go ahead and put it on the stay on your toes.
I like it. I love bringing back the stay on your toes plays. And if you want to be a part of everything over at what Big Chuck is running, there's a QR code right there. Be a part of his side hustle, just like we are. Thank you, Big Chuck. Guardians over 8. All right, Marky Model, our JTS play of the day is what?
It's featuring 2 of the most consistent bats in baseball right now. We're going to start with Milwaukee Brewers' Christian Yelich to get a hit tonight. He has done this in 19 of his last 20 road games, and he absolutely owns Eric Fetty over his career. We're going to pair that with Pittsburgh's Tommy Pham to also get a hit. He is another one that is just locked in. He's recorded a hit in 17 of his last 18 games. You put them both together, you get a plus 102, just a Stat Sports play of the day.
You're damn right you do. There's a QR code. Scan it. Use our code BTT30. We're going to give you 30 days for free, which will take you right up to September 4th when the NFL season starts with the Eagles and with the Cowboys. We also here at the show every single day like to make you smarter. Rafael, what do we got?
We're going to the St. Louis Cardinals, who are at Dodger Stadium tonight. The Cardinals are 2-10 in their last 12 games when their opponent allows 2 runs or less in their last game.
Very interesting. Okay. Cardinals and Dodgers. By the way, the game that I talked about in Miami in 3 weeks that we are going to attempt to go to, it's the Cardinals and the Marlins. Do you think they're going to get 34,000 for that night?
Sell out.
Wow.
My God. Real quick, shout out to my man Cam Young. I don't know if you guys remember, I told this story on the show that a couple of years ago, he was the pro in my group at a Pro-Am, and I offered to caddy for him as he was starting his PGA Tour career. He was very nice. And he says, Coach, I'll think about it. Not realizing that he was one of the brightest stars coming off the Korn Ferry Tour at the time. He had 7 runner-up finishes before Sunday, and he won his very first PGA Tour event. DG, would that embarrass you to offer your services to a PGA Tour pro that you didn't know was as good as what he was?
No, you're just trying to help out. I think that's a kind gesture. It does say that that's why I didn't choose you, is because he was a bigger deal than you assumed. But I think Cam Young is a rising star, definitely in the PGA Tour.
There's no doubt about it. And this week, by the way, I failed to mention it in my plethora of shows that we're doing today. I will be wheels up tomorrow because, gentlemen, we have not a 2-hour, a 3-hour betting show Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the St. Jude, right in your backyard, DG.
Yep.
Even though I won't be in your backyard this weekend. But I'll be on ESPN Plus and ESPN 2. It's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. Gentlemen, well done today. Great job today. Weekday wagers, by the way, DG and the crew at 2 p.m. Eastern time this afternoon. Understand this is now time for you to go out into the world. For you to pay it forward, be kind to one another. And understand this, there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all these tickets on such a busy day straight to the pay window. For my entire company, damn it, do I love them all. My man Raphael, Big Chuck, Mikey P, DG, Marky Model, and producer man always behind the scenes, making the show look like $1 million. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's what it's all about. I promise you. Subscribe to both YouTube channels. Today's going to be a great day. But this right here is Coaching Company Live, as always, on Stadium. Have a great day.